What's up, everyone? It's your boy Jimek here, coming at you with another deck. This is my blue-red prowess deck. No cards say the word prowess on it, but they're basically care about non-creature spells. So third path iconoclast is new this season. It's a pretty sweet card. It's basically Young Pyromancer, but in two colors. But like even better because it's non-creature, so you can play enchantments or artifacts, and you'll trigger third path. So it's pretty cool. Pairs are a little Sprite Dragon, another like non-creature spell lover. So I'm putting these cards together, put a bunch of spells together. Let's go. And a deck tech. No, not really. Yes, actually, yeah, really, but not really. I'm playing with the cards I've actually never played with before. Namely like Tolarian Terror and like Founding the Third Path. These are all just kind of like spells matters sort of cards. So yeah, mana base pretty simple. Just IZZET colors, more blue than red because blue spells are better. Wandering Fumarole, good win con. Just kind of like when the game's kind of go late, you kind of when you have the last thing standing, Fumarole's just kind of there. But yeah, and there's like blue red prowess show. I think there's like two ways you could have done this. There's some deck lists floating around with like Delvers and like Monastery Swift Spears and then like these stuff. And then there's like this is kind of like the next level of it. I don't say next level like oh this is better, but this is like the go bigger sort of mode of it. Like I like third path and I like Sprite Dragon. The problem with like the one drops is that your mana base gets like really split up and there's not really any good blue red dual lands. So you're just kind of like praying that like you have like to untap this and to untap that. So with this, you don't really care if you play a tap land go, and then any other land will like play the spell, one of these two things, because you want this on turn two, almost all the time. And Tolarian Terror will come a lot later, but for one blue mana. So you're not really like banking on like I need blue mana now or I need red mana right now. So you hope it like kind of works out. And blues here, obviously you more want blue mana on turn one early so you can cast your ponders and your probes or whatever. Although you don't need any mana to cast probes. This could be opt, but I think like just like Sprite Dragon probe or third path probe, you immediately get value out of it. So probe is just like fine here. Stern Dismissal, Burst Lightning, just kind of like efficient removal on one. I actually haven't played a lot with Founding Third Path, so I'm kind of worried about having like an efficient amount of spells to play with Founding. But assuming that a lot of times you'll play a tap land on turn one, you play as a turn two, and you get to play a ponder anyway. So that instance is good, and it triggers twice. Most of the time, you have a spell for like these cards, but I mean, worst case, you just skip ahead to chapter two. You start milling your cards for immediately for hopefully hit terror as well, or just field cruises. There's three of them. I had like a 4-4 at first, 4-4 split for these cards, but I think they kind of like clash with each other in a way. And if I had to make a choice, I'd rather like kill my opponent than draw more cards. Although drawing cards can kill your opponent in certain ways. So I think this is fine. I have enough like card manipulation between all this and Izzet Charm as well, which is like the module spell of choice here. It either deals damage or like counter spells or draws cards that work, so it always does something. Member Lapse is the last kind of card. Not super great with Founding. Founding just wants you to like cast draw spells or things like that, but I think it's like fine. I didn't really want to play like lose focus because I thought having a bunch of mountains in your deck is not great for lose focus, so I did like Memory Lapse a bit more. Cyber's pretty self-explanatory, just mostly like if the counter spells are bad, then you want more removal. Some of this. Vapor Sag, Flame Slash. I have no like graveyard hate in my deck, but isn't Statcaster's very good against like killing a lot of like Icarids and stuff like that pre-bridge, post-bridge. You want to try to kill your own thing. Shenanigans, Vandal Blast. There are a lot of artifact decks running around, so it's kind of a little split of like these sort of effects. When the removal is bad, you just put your counter spells, Dispel, Spell Pierce, and Counterflux, because I don't know, cancel wasn't good enough, I guess. So Counterflux just way better. Okay, so yeah, gonna play League, 5 rounds of Magic. I haven't played one game of this deck, so I'm not really sure how it's gonna play out, but the idea is there, and hopefully I can just like make a bunch of little things or go really tall with the Sprite Dragon. Let's do it. All right, round one with the Penny Dreadful Blue Red Prowess list. I like this hand. I'll keep Ponder good, Probe good. Eventually I'll draw more cards. Cruise good. A little bit of everything. And Burst Lightning, why not? And the lands. I cannot have this. Are we dredging? Okay. Um, okay, let's see. I'm gonna take a look at their hand first. See if they have a dredger. Of course. They have double imp too. That's actually really good. Huh. Well, this already put to the test. I have zero Graver Hate in my deck, so I don't even know if like killing something's gonna be good enough because they'll have the imp. I want one with the burst lightning to clear some bridges because I can clear my own third path them. So I'm gonna ponder here. Their hand's pretty good for a 5-card hand, but I mean they have the thing. Okay. These are all pretty good cards. Bounding, third path dismissal. This can bounce like a Hogak. These all can bounce Hogaks. No. I'm probably gonna put the third path in, so start making tokens and immediately like kill them. Okay, they found a Hogak. They can actually make the Hogak now. Their hand's like irrelevant. This is their graveyard. They're on the Dread return sort of plan, so if they want the Hogak, they have to like clear a bunch of stuff. Namely like a grave. I mean, they have a grave troll in their hand, so if they can clear another grave troll, that's like okay. I think I kind of keep refilling it. This is kind of the problem with Hogak, where it's like you need to kill this outright. You can't just keep bouncing it, because then like they'll just keep playing it with like grave troll. Grave troll dredges for 6. This is delve 5 plus 2 convoke. So maybe I do want to burst lightning down a zombie, but then they like I don't know. This is kind of tough too because they're gonna clear. They're gonna get rid of like everything but maybe the Icarid, I would say. Yeah, because then the grave troll in their hand should be able to hopefully get something else out here. So yeah, already at it. I could just spend a turn like kill an imp, bounce this, and then I mean then they just replay the Hogak, and then they have fuel again. It's kind of tough. And maybe no, I mean they're playing bridges because they should have dread return. So because if I kill this, they won't get to play a Hogak next turn. Well, no, because they'll have a thing to eat, and then they'll dredge 5, and they'll just have it again. And then we're just kind of back where we started. So I think I want to put a threat on the battlefield. Probably third class. Yeah, maybe just a third path. And then like I'll take my lumps here. And then next turn I'll just bounce a bunch of things and just like kind of play a tempo game with the Hogak. I have a bunch of Sternus missiles, so this is okay. I have another one coming up, so it's like 2 times. Liliana's standard bearer. That's sick, actually. Found another Hogak. No bridges yet, so that's important. Okay, they're going with everyone. It was totally fine. I'll just take it. It's not fine, but it's whatever. Okay. Next card is another dismissal. So I think I can actually just kill one of these now. No, I could wait till their upkeep, and then well no. No, if they flip a bridge, then it's like I don't want them to do that. I'm not really attacking this thing or blocking, so I'm gonna attack. But then I make 2 things no matter what, so it's not a big deal. This thing just eats that thing. So I'm gonna kill this now because they don't have a bridge yet. It's kind of tough. I didn't draw a lane. Oh, I mean, I didn't know I was gonna draw a lane because I was ponder locked, but it's kind of tough already. Okay, but they have a thing to eat. Well, they have 2 things to eat with Icarid already, but I have the Soldier Soul in a block, so that clears a bridge. I can kill this, and they have no more discard outlets, and they don't have any dredgers right now, so I'm kind of okay there. Alright, they found a bridge and a lot lift troll. Okay, I will bounce this. And if they're gonna let me block here, I might just double block. Because now they didn't make it flying, which is like pretty bad on their part. Because they have a card to put it to make it fly, so they kind of lost their ability. So they gave me a priority to block. So I'm gonna take this. I'll take the 3. It's okay. It's not okay, but whatever. And if they don't stack this right, this clears. They have to stack this correctly to clear the bridge. You want to put just trigger on the stack last. They put. So yeah, they got that first. And you're not be able to cast a Hogak. They should have discarded the Hogak in their hand too, but it doesn't matter. But I am a lot of the time away from just dying, so this is kind of scary. Let's see. Can I go to 1 here? I could just Founding Probe, I guess. But it needs to draw a land. Well, it's okay. Okay, wait, what is this? Yeah, without paying. Okay, 1. Again, this is my first time playing with Founding. Okay, I don't need to see their hand. It's fine. Let's see. Alright. Yeah, a lot of blockers for Icarid. If you can't hit, they can cast a Hogak again, but again, I have their Stern Dismissal, so kind of okay there. Creeping Chill in their deck too. Okay, cool. Alright, I'm gonna regret this no graveyard hate thing, I think, huh? So I don't really like counter spells in this matchup. You don't really cast spells for the most part. This is gonna be kind of brutal. I do like Static Caster. They are playing with Dread Return stuff, so if I can just like kind of keep down the creature count, I think that's okay. So like Flame Slash can come in. I guess like Vapor Snag is just another Stern Dismissal. This is tough. Man, of course, the first thing I do is play this deck with no graveyard haze to play this. I'm gonna cut a Founding for another Vapor Snag. I'm gonna go for like full board control. That's the best I could do. It's gonna be rough. They come out the gate so fast. This hand's okay. There's no like red mana for the Iconoclast, but I could definitely like buy some time with a bunch of Vapor Snags. I'm actually mulligan. I'm gonna mulligan. Okay, this hand is like mildly better. Just because I have my colors and keep. I'm gonna probe first, see if I need to use this sag for whatever reason. They kept a turn 1 breakthrough hand, which is not terrible. But right now they only have like, I mean, they have 2 dredgers, so it's not the end of the world. Okay, let's let them do it. This is, I guess, where Spell Pierce would have been good. Because like I could just Spell Pierce there. I could just Spell Pierce their breakthrough. Because they're gonna go for like, these kind of lines. I have to think about that next time. When this goes to game 3, I have to think about that. Like, they kept this hand on the basis that this is gonna be good, so, and it is. It's gonna put a bunch of dredgers in their graveyard, but it's very all in. So if I had like lanterns in my deck, I would just clear this out. Let's pop out the graveyard, see what's up. Let's see. Maybe we could have just cut the probes. It did cycle, kind of, so it's not a big deal. I know they don't have cards in their hand. Not a big deal. I could bounce the Icarid, which is really good. It's gonna buy a lot of time here. Because it can't just like start casting Hogaks. So bouncing the Icarid is actually kind of nice. I found a Spyglass. Spyglass is actually for Lantern. But if they keep dredging, they're never gonna like play lands here. Okay, I'm not gonna take the 3. I'm just gonna bounce. Maybe Flame Slash is not good, but Flame Slash can kill my own creatures. Okay. Ooh, is a charm to counter a spell. It has a negate mode to it. They've got nothing. Found chill. It's not bad. No Icarids yet. I might just draw, discard, and try to cruise, maybe? No, it's like kind of like the one of the few things I have to counter like a Dread Return. So I'm gonna just like keep it. Maybe. I don't know. Let me take another draw step and figure it out. The Icarids are things I want to clear, that's the thing. But now they have bridges, and I don't have anything to clear a bridge yet. I think I take a draw step. I think they think about taking a draw step. Okay, they found another chill. They found an Icarid as well, and just more Dreaders in general. They found a salvage too if they want to land. I can't get chilled out of this game. I mean, there's already two, but there's one in the graveyard already, so I really need to think about creature. This creature's killing me. Like, a giant's an instant kill at this point. Or almost. Okay, Icarid comes in for 3, I go to 7. I just need to bounce it, so I am just going to bounce it. I don't want to take any damage from it. I can also just block with the Fumarole and, like, clear it that way. Exile a Hogak. Found another bridge. They got the salvage. Okay, so they actually want that land. I guess they're maybe like thinking about casting the other Hogak in their hand. They've only dredged so far, so the whole hand is like dredge cards and like Icarids. Okay, now I can actually like Izzet or cruise with Izzet Charm backup. Okay, I found an Iconoclast. That's pretty good. It's gonna help clear the bridges. I think I kill my own token just to kill a bunch of bridges. Let me see if they take a draw step here. Yep. Nope, that's the last chill. Okay. 3 bridges to eat here. That's actually very nice. Okay, this should work. Let me cast my things. No Icarid still. They've gotten very unlucky. I'm gonna ponder now. Just get another counter on the Sprite Dragon and then get a thing. I'm gonna shuffle this. I just want like more card drawing spells. Kind of like that. Yeah, let's just do this. Going to 5 is not, I don't think, incredibly risky because like they've got like nothing going on. Yeah, so they have all just like, I think they're trying to cast this like, yeah, pretty soon. Okay, they continually dredging. I don't know what they're gonna look for now. Like all the Icarids are on the bottom, which is like a bit unfortunate. I'm gonna burst lightning them. I'll get this game over with. Okay, I can't keep Izzet Charm. I don't think they need Izzet Charm. Let's see, I can just activate this. I don't think I need to kill any of my creatures for this, because they're like dead next turn. Like I don't know what they could do at this point. All right, cool. See, maybe you don't need Graveyard Hate. Maybe it's not necessary. Okay. I kind of like Spell Pierce, but although I'm on the draw. But Spell Pierce really only... I mean, Spell Pierce does counter... Spell Pierce is pretty good at countering, what do you call it? Dread Return or Breakthrough, so those can all be like fine. I don't think Flame Slash is like where I want to be. I think I want a couple Spell Pierces. Although being on the draw again is like kind of not great. I think that's it. I want to try it like this. What is this? Geth, Lord of the Vault. Okay. I like this hand. I can keep. But I don't have to turn one like untap blue source, so this is like clear an Icarid or clear clear an imp, either way. They're mulliganing, they're going to 6. They like the 6. If it's a imp, I'm gonna immediately kill it. But they're gonna get a payoff out of it anyway, so if they don't have a dredger already, then I keep this hand. Okay, found a grave troll. Salvage, okay. 2 dredgers, not too bad. Found a bridge. Found another grave troll. Oh, they milled the salvage actually, and they found a bridge off of that. Interesting. Okay, they can't hurt me in any way, so I'm gonna play this tap land and say go. Could have kept a really reactive hand. I don't really like hands like this, but when you play like prowess decks, you want to have a hand with a threat and then immediately use it to pressure. Breakthrough for 1. Okay, I don't have any spell pierces, or nor could I have cast it. This is why you wish you kind of had a spell pierce. Okay, they're gonna just do this a bunch. Okay, it's not good. They hit 3 chills. And a lot of other stuff. Ugh, kind of gross. 3 Icarids already. My hand always looks terrible now. But I guess I could just like clear a bunch of Icarids. They have all 4 Icarids actually. Oh my goodness. And they have like a bunch of bridges, so even if I try to burst lightning them down, they get some Icarids in response. Oh my god, what a freaking mill. They do have a lava giant, only like 17 cards. I mean, that killed me, so I think I'm just dead. Because I couldn't counter a breakthrough. So brutal. Like I said, I can kill one of them, but like I can kill 2 of them, but it's just not enough. Maybe they get cold feet and not go for it. I mean, they could just attack me for 12, so I guess I could like make it so that they kind of either have to go for it and maybe they don't, or or what? I don't know. I don't see the reason to not go for it because like worst case, if you go for it, you don't hit it, you make 6 tokens, and that still kills me next turn. So there's no incentive not to go for it here with the Dread Return. This is brutal. That was a really brutal breakthrough. They hit like everything. Even if they hit the 3 grids, I could have been okay. Okay, I think they're attacking me. Yeah, I mean this is pretty safe, right? Ugh. Look, they need to try to beat them or something. This maybe not doing it. I don't know. This game is lost. That's why these cards are banned from Modern. This is why. Yeah, they're just casting a Hogak. They're not even playing to their full potential of killing me. They could be just worried about the Spell Pierce mana. But then again, they can just play it super slow. Like, make 4 more zombies and then pass. And then I need like a board wipe. And I'm blue-red. Okay, they're just gonna do it anyway. Alright. You got me. Great, good breakthrough. Good stuff. Alright, got another match with the Painterful Prowess deck. Got a mulligan this hand, no island, no keep. This hand's good. It's got the cast turn to Iconoclast. It's got some stuff. Keep. I'm gonna put a land back. look. I'm gonna hold on. Oh, I have no keep stop. I'm gonna hold on playing this probe until I get to Sonic class in IZZET. Or I'm sorry, I'm IZZET. They're Orzhov. Okay. So yeah, I definitely want to get some value out of this, so I'm just gonna play this mountain and pass. This is a... Oh, they're adventurers. Okay. Well, I have plenty of things to spare to block this. They're adventure, not adventures. That's a different deck. They're a dungeon deck. Orzhov Dungeon. Orzhov Venture, whatever you call it. So this is basically based off of this and the Dragon Knight thing, the Dar or something like that. I'm gonna probe, see what's up. Alright, they have a double adventurer, so another iconoclast is pretty good. If I draw a land here, I could maybe dismissal. This thing's gonna die, so they only have the one Bloodchief's Thirst. I assume I'm getting killed here. And then they're gonna play another adventure. Can't really stop the venturing part, so we're gonna go into the Dungeon of the Mad Maze. It's a pretty good one. Does a lot of stuff. Not gonna read all that. I'm not gonna block. I mean, I can just figure something out later. Okay, I would love a bounce spell here. That way you can just kind of get going. Burst Lightning's also fine. I can just kill one of these, I guess. Try to force a block. Maybe I could like bait a block here. Who knows? Probably not. Okay. Oh no! It's an attack trigger. I have the Sternus Missile. No. It's okay. Maybe they play some like value creature that I wanna, some 4-drop I wanna just like time walk them. Who knows? Wait, here comes. Okay, Nadar. That's something I don't really want to dismissal, but it's kind of whatever. Okay, let me just... It's kind of annoying because no matter what, now they get like 2 triggers on the dungeon. Maybe I should have just not have done that. Who knows? Okay. A little light on the lands here. Um, if I had a 3rd land, I could like snap back this thing. This costs 4, so I guess it's their iconoclast. Set up for the founding. I guess I could like chapter 3 and like probe them or something. So they're gonna really play them in a Dar. Get another move into the dungeon. This is pretty bad actually. I wish I'd just hit this thing, because then they can't move as quick. Okay. Got all the things. I need a big thing. I just need my 5/5 in play. I'm not gonna block yet. It's just no point in just jumping. If I can cast like some spells next turn, then I can just try to do that. If I draw like a 1 or 2 drop, that'd be nice. Okay, they're gonna make some skeletons. That's fine. Actually, I have nothing that kills this outright in my 60 card game 1. Wow. Oh. I guess I could go to chapter 2 here, mill, and then like chapter 3 gets a little better. So I gotta make a token and I gotta fuel this stuff. So I'll mill 4. See what I get. I need to make some terrors here. Oh my god. That wasn't very good. Worst case, I could like flash back the burst lightning here to kill one of these ventures, but there's I have to double block one of them now. Or I could just cruise. I think cruising is just better. Alright, so they're not gonna commit the Nadar, interestingly enough. Okay. They're gonna complete this maze. Oh my god. Or this dungeon. And they're setting up their draws in the meantime, so. Oh wait, does this pump? Oh wait, so that means that the attacks are like really good. So then they get pumped because they've completed a dungeon, I think. Jeez. I think I'm like dead. I don't know. I don't think I can actually like beat this. I'll just because now they're like 2/2 first strike death touchers. So I don't even know. I guess they didn't know like what they were drawing into with Nadar, so just attacking with all this is like not necessary. Okay, well, you got it. You know what? Fine, you got it. Okay, this is a weird deck. Because it's mostly like a creature deck, but I do need to counter some spells, so you'll bring in the Vapor Snags and the Flame Slashes. Staticaster could be okay against like pre-dungeoned Triumph and Adventures. They only have like 8 cards to actually go into the dungeon, which is really funny. Actually, don't like. Actually, I kind of want to more remove. I don't hate the bounce spells, but I don't love them either. I'd rather just like kill them dead. So, I'm actually gonna bring in the Counterflux. That could be okay. Over just like kind of the bounce spells. I want just like pure removal. This makes founding a bit better too. Let me see. I think this is okay. I wish I had more like flame slash effects actually. Sadly enough. All right. This is a keep for me. Hopefully my Iconoclast doesn't die. Can't really kill a Triumph Adventure though. Can we each start with some tap lands? Okay. These early cruises are not like super awesome without like a founding or a bunch of spells. Because they're either kill my thing or play the adventure. Okay, Sculler. Sculler. I don't mind a Sculler here. My hand's pretty stacked. I might just take the Lapse because it's like the it's a non-redundant card. Okay, so I'm gonna draw a bunch of cards here. Monitor 1. Looking for land. I kind of want lands with a hand like this. Okay, these are all pretty decent cards. Probably just gonna fire up all the ponders here. I think I want to keep the founding because I can immediately just like cruise here. So I want this land too. So no. Okay, ponder again. And I could immediately cruise after. I could just like play the founding, mill 4 and cruise. Makes terror a bit way worse. So if I find a terror, I might just like keep that too. Okay. I want to keep I want to hide this from a discard effect, so we'll go this. And then I'm like threatening cruise, just like a big old like cruise. Also, I can IZZET charm this thing if I want to for a lapse. Duress. See, they had the duress. They would hit the founding there. Scholar. Scholar takes another cruise. That's not a big deal. I have 2 in my hand. Alright, so I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to mill immediately. Although, it makes chapter 3, like, really bad. But I can kind of just, I guess, pick and choose what spell I want to keep. Alright, so I guess I want to keep the Flame Slash here. 1, 2, 3, 4, easy. Or I could just, like, well, I might draw a spell here that I want to play. Nah, it's fine. Maybe I just keep these things. I can keep my like, options open with this, with chapter 3. Okay, I found another founding. That's kind of cool. Bunch of lands, though. It's not the greatest treasure cruise. Probably get a Flame Slash something. And then play another fountain. Well, it depends on what I draw. I could also just go again. Flame Slash this. Founding again. Lingering Souls. Okay. A little annoying. They're playing more of a mid-range game. I have IZZET Statcast for my deck, though. Okay, so I am going to Flame Slash this one with the my other cruise. Okay, I can't really cast anything off this founding, so maybe I just like mill again, and then wait on cruise. Okay, they're just I don't know why they're just conceding. I have such a draw engine there. That's pretty powerful. I like that. They just died the card advantage. So that's how Treasure Cruise kills. All right. Do we want dismissals now that have shown me lingering souls? I don't think so. I could play like shenanigans against the Tideholder shows. That seems a little narrow. Chains may be better than Counterflux, so I'm not really sure. I think this is fine. Iconoclast was great there. Sure, I can keep. This got the terrors are a bit awkward, but that's bound to happen when you have like 7 cards that want a full graveyard, and then you just start the game with them. Okay, I guess they had to leave. I don't know why they conceded. Okay, they mulled to 5 and then decided to succeed. Okay, well, there you go. Alright, get another match for the Penny Dreadful Prowess deck. 1-1. So far, so good. Opponent is deciding about whether they want to play or draw. Here we go. I will keep this hand. This hand seems pretty sweet. Colors and spells, that's what you love. And some threats. Then Elf, that's going to get Burst Lightning immediately. Ooh, found a Terror. Well, this might be one of those matches where I kind of want to kill everything and play down spells. I mean, these things can be really good at stopping this stuff. Black-green. Agonizing Remorse. Okay. This is Exile, so if they take the IZZET Charm, it's not going to really help out with the Terror. They did take IZZET Charm, okay. You get to these awkward hands, though, where you draw all creatures and no, like, spells. There's, like, no payoff, so you're playing, like, a bunch of, like, young Pyromancers and Bedlam Revelers. This is, I don't know, better or worse than Bedlam Reveler. Reveler might be good in this deck instead of this. I don't know. Can I offer a trade here? Maybe, yeah. Oh. This might be a good trade for them. Okay, they're just gonna take it. They did miss a land drop. This is the only reason I tried to do this. It's kind of just like stone raining them while I have an advantage card. Fight rigging. Okay. I know what this card does. Hideaway 5. Okay, so when something gets really big, they get to cast a spell under it. Okay. I mean, pretty soon it'll be bigger than my stuff, so. Okay, it's not good, so just gonna come in. I mean, next turn I can attack with it, so it's not the end of the world. Flame lands, that would be a lot. If there are 20 lands in a deck, might be a bit too much. Archfiend of the Dross. And they put in a Darksteel Colossus. How did that happen? Oh, they immediately fight rigged it. That's great. That's nice. Okay, but now they can't like win the game, but I'm probably going to lose this. That's trample. I mean, I have a bunch of unsummons in my deck. This shouldn't be a big deal, but it's pretty big right now. Okay. Well, pass. I mean, they're coming in for like 18 here, so. And this still keeps going, which is fun. So they can just continually pump something. Like, just because, like, the hideaway happens, it still just has an effect, which is great. Okay, I'm taking 18. Or 19, I guess. I'll go to 1. Okay, I will lapse this. They also have Proliferate in their deck. It's an interesting deck. I'm going to lose. Okay. What a hit. What a hit off of fight rating. That's great. Okay. I think I want no counter spells, and I think it just another one of these like play to the board style decks. I don't know how good Flame Slash is gonna be though, against like a 6/6. I might want some lapses, but I definitely want this can slow down the early stuff, like the things. I don't have like enchantment. I mean, I have the Discern Dismissals. It's kind of double duty, so if it had to be something good and I just like get this out of there, it's pretty decent. Hmm. I don't know if Izzetron's gonna be good enough here. I think I want the Counterflux, actually. Let's try this. Fight rigging. That's an, I guess, yeah, if you play like a 6/6 or something, something silly like that, and you immediately get it. Sure, I can keep land spells. They have a bunch of duress effects though, so this might be a little hairy, but we'll see. Okay, so found my thing. They found their thing. If they fight rigging, I do have the dismissal, so if they play like a big thing, I can just dismissal it. Okay. I might just dismissal it now, and then like they lose the hideaway card, but they get to keep this. I'm gonna probe first. I want to see what's in their hand. And I get a token at it. They have its Colossus in their hand. They have a Shakedown Heavy. Canker Bloom. A lot of stuff here. I get, oh, this is a 6/4, so they can immediately rig it into a 7. Interesting. I can also just counterflux it. I don't know. Okay. I want to make them cast this and then bounce this. Or maybe I just counterflux this. I think I'm just going to counterflux this. It's probably just a better. It's also just a really annoying card to begin with. Like, they could fight Rig on this. It's not a big deal. Okay, go. It's still a bit away from this. The Colossus in her hand is like really annoying. It's just kind of like a dead card. Remorse? Okay, so I guess I have to like do some things now. I guess I'll just bounce this. I guess I could bounce the Elvish Mystic too. It is kind of big, so I think I guess I just take. I mean, this is kind of a hard take because like either way, something's going to die. Like I think, or something big is happening next turn. Either like I draw a bunch of cards or I get a big thing. So let me make it the big thing. Okay. I don't care about these things. I will say that this kind of does like build up the fight rating pretty quick too. It's a 3/2 for 2. Actually, I don't think I need this anymore because I'm like now the terror is going and they look a little land light, so I think I just want to like. I guess I could like block then sack if they wanted to. This is also pretty good. Yeah, let's just try to kill them ASAP. They're gonna get block this, sack to this. I don't care if this dies now. Pretty much dead on board. They could fight rigging, but they have nothing to rig onto. No wrath exists here. Even if they had something like you need expertise, I keep my 5/5. We'll go for the throat. Okay, they can pay for that. Okay. Okay, I got the all creature draw. Alright, let's put another thing. Let's put another big thing here. Alright, they have one dead card in their hand. And alright, cool. Okay, huh. I don't think my sideboard doesn't change anything. I kind of like Lapse now. Maybe Lapse might be a bit better than some other stuff. Lapse on the draw could be a little better. One of these, and then I liked all of this. I actually like the dismissals part. Counterflux on the draw might be a bit worse, so let's just get one out. This only works though if I'm ahead. The lapses, that is. So hopefully I get ahead and I stay ahead. Sure, I can keep this. Go for the Throat's not very good against Sprite Dragon. That's the only removal I've seen so far. So hopefully I can just like play this with protection or just like get a counter on it immediately. Like if I have a probe here, I just hold it. Or I can maybe bait it out with the Iconoclast. Remorse, okay. They have some options. Which thing is worse to face? The Iconoclast or the Dragon? It's really the choices. Okay, they took the Iconoclast, which means they think they can kill the Dragon. I'm gonna pass. I really don't have anything else to play here to protect it, so if they have like a spell for this. This might be another Remorse. Cankerbloom. Just gonna elapse this. Just gonna like try to time walk them. Okay. Just gonna keep passing. So maybe the shakedown. Okay, this is totally fine. Because now I can like play this dismissal, protect it against a thing, and then kind of hold this. This is only based on the fact that I think their only card really is just like go for the throw to kill things. I'm like Heartless Act 2. I think they had Heartless Act before. Or maybe that was what game was that? No, it was another game. That was game 2. That was round 2 with the black white deck. Okay. So their hand is the Canker Bloom, the Shakedown. Oh, go with wait, go for the throats. Oh, I misread that. I thought that was a Heartless Act. For some reason, I don't know what I'm just like on something right now. I have a coffee and it's not working. Okay, well, let's extract some value out of this. Okay, I haven't made a land drop yet. This isn't the greatest ponder, but I just get to make a bunch of things and I make my land drops. Okay, their hand's not very good. It's very like good to lapse. They might if they go with double Canker Boom, I don't think I care. But if they play a shakedown, I definitely am lapsing it. They found a drown in the Ichor. Um, no, that's worthy of a lapse here. Now I gotta play one of these Canker Blooms. So I knew I was drawing that. I'm gonna lose the Iconoclast here. I could just kind of like unsummon this attack. I feel like it's almost better to like do that to the heavy. I'm not really. No, I think I'll just get in because I'm gonna lose this in a second. So this way, at least I get another token. Maybe I can clear this out with burn. I don't know. Pretty primed for a dragon or I'm sorry, a terror or a cruise. So looking for one of those cards. Now this is when you want to draw them. But I need to keep this ponder, so this was my bad. Okay. I can't believe I thought Go for the Throat was Heartless Act just because it's on game the other round. I keep saying round and it's keeping game. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, that was perfect timing. I'm just gonna clear all of this. Even if I draw like a chair, it's gonna be wasn't gonna be the best terror. Well, it's gonna be a pretty good terror, honestly. Okay, found an Iconoclast replacement. Now I could try to find a lapse here. Sprite Dragon's not bad either. Again, this is like a really terrible sort of hand. But I think I want pressure, so I think I'm just gonna kind of go for it. Because again, their hand's like pretty weak. Like, I might be just like tempo them out here. If I draw, I mean, the probe kills them right here. Unless I can kill this. Unless the card here draws like shakedown, you got it. They do have a lot of blockers for my thing, but okay, no need actually to pay mana here. Okay, two block block. They go to 1. So they just attack with just the dragon. They can't really come in with the shakedown. Like I just block. I don't need to like. Oh, I guess. Yeah, you don't need a card. I can just double block this. I have a million things. They found the Canker Bloom, which they already knew they had. They could have a Go for the Throat here. Although they tap their mana really badly for that. Because they could have just tapped the Mystic, but then it just like doesn't lead them in any blockers. Any spell will kill. In fact, they're actually dead on board, but unless they have another Go for the Throat. Okay. But they're still dead now. Yeah. They're still dead to all the tokens. Awesome. Their deck didn't really get on the ground that well, though, this game. Alright, another match for the Penny Dreadful Prowess list. This hand's like okay. I'm gonna keep. I'm wondering how like aggressive I'm supposed to like be getting the 2-drops. This is Affinity. See matchup I want to test. Affinity's like a very good deck. I don't think it's a great deck, but it's very good. It's a lot of good like artifact cards like Ravager, Seal Overseer, Edge Champion, stuff like that. It's a very good deck. But I know it's great. We'll see here. See, there's the Overseer. I'm looking for a Burst Lightning. Certain Dismissal is fine. Oh, actually, I have the IZZET charm. I'll just charm this. Yeah, I'll just knock this out now. I think the problem with some, like, Affinity builds is that, like, there's a rebuild and, like, there's, like, Thoughtcast effects. There's things like Reality Heist and, like, Forging the Anchor, but people don't play that, so this might be a future deck, honestly. I think, like, Forging Anchor is really good. That might be a future deck. Not sure yet. Because I really do enjoy playing Affinity. Alright, don't have much against a 2-3. Which is really sad to say. At least main deck. I can dismissal it. I do have the untapped blue source here. Because I can ponder and do that. Definitely the control in this matchup. Which I kind of like about this deck. I was just thinking to myself, it's like, man, I don't have like 1-drop. So maybe if I don't need 1-drops, I can just play this like super control-y game where I just kind of like deal with the board and then drop a bunch of like 1-mana 5/5s. Third path is pretty decent. Cruise is nice too. I do kind of like all of this, so excuse me. They don't have much in the way of removal, so I know this is just kind of good. Alright, I got a drum. But yeah, this can kind of help the go wide plan that Affinity usually has. They have a bunch of drums, nothing else. It's kind of awkward. Maybe they're gonna try to cast a spell here. Another drum, okay. Drums are really good when like you only have one player. Alright, well they found a Mirror Enforcer. And the other Mirror Enforcer, aka Sojourner's Companion. Notable ban card in Pauper. Let's see. This is not great. I can dismissal this, block with the token, and then start playing terrors. They only actually trade with these things because of the chief. Okay. That's all the drums. They got them all. I could also like take 10 here. I don't really want to take 10, so it's kind of dumb because like they just get the casts back. It's for free. Interestingly, they didn't attack with the Mistress Factory. There's no cards in their hand, so there's like no secrets at this point. I might just start playing terrors just to trade. I think that actually might be better. Because I can't really kill these things. I can block them forever, but I can't really do anything else. Because this costs like 5, right? Or 4. So I kind of want to like deploy these before I start cruising. Because once I cruise, I won't be able to cast these at all. So we'll just start bringing these out. And actually we'll trade. If they don't draw another lord, I will try to trade. Alright. That's not like it is a lord, it's not like the lord. So I think now I still want to trade, but I want to cruise now. Okay, they're not attacking. So I think I want to cruise. Because I want to kill this, like, ASAP. Costs like 5 mana, though. It's so much. Oh. Oh. So I need, like, a Burst Lightning. Or, like, an Unsummon. For this. Otherwise, it's gonna get really out of hand. This is the tension I was talking about between Tolarian Terror and Cruise. It doesn't seem, like, great. I feel like maybe I don't have enough like looting, like sort of like self mill effects. Like Thoughtscour is legal. I just chose not to play it. Okay, I found a probe. Can I play this? Oh, I played the land already. I could hold this probe for next turn, take a bunch, or I can just like cast this now. Maybe try to hit a burst lightning. Man, it's really risky. Or I can just like play Iconoclast, play the probe, play their spell, take my lumps. I'm at 20. I don't really need to do much. But like after a turn, I can't actually kill this with a single burst lightning. But I can kick it. Okay, let's just wait. I'm not double blocking. I think I'll just like chump one thing. They find the Ravager. It's actually like insane. It's insane with Overseer, and like it actually makes combat really terrible here. And they're coming in with like a lot of things. I wonder if they're just gonna like if they tap. I think they're just yeah activating the factory just to put a counter on it. All right, I'll take 6, and then now I'm just like worried for everything. But I can block a bunch in a second. Okay, that's a lot of spells. So let's just start. I don't know if paying 2 life is a good idea, but I think I'm gonna have to. I don't know, maybe I don't. Maybe it's just super greedy. I should have pondered first. Because I might want to draw the card I hit here. Of course. Okay. Played my land already, so can't really do anything else. Founding is not bad. It actually makes a bunch more things. Sternus Missile's also fine. I could also, like, mill. I can mill 4 and then play the Terror. I have, like, a bunch of things. Because it's gonna put at least 2 instant sources in my graveyard, so this will cost 2 mana. Yeah, I think that's fine. And the next turn I can, like, use Sternus Missile. I guess. I don't know. Is this a good idea? I have no idea. I have a million blockers, though, so I have, like, time to, like, do some stuff, so... I can like flash back the Sternus Missile here. So this costs 1 actually, which is insane. Look at that. I can Terror and Cruise right now, but I'm not going to. Because then I get no value out of this, so I can just wait. Okay, I have a lot of stuff, so I feel okay. But I don't know if it's like a winning position. Because I definitely have more things than them. Even Ornithopter. So now like even like a Sprite Dragon's not great. Pretty much everything has to get blocked, though, because of the Ravager. But, I mean, double Iconoclast will do this. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna actually target this Sternus Missile and kind of put the onus on them on the Ravager, I think. Kind of blowing up the Ravager seems like a really good idea. Not blow up, but you know what I mean. It's like... I just want to see what happens. Like, I want to see how they react to this, because this is a big spell for their, like, kind of, like, game plan here. Because they might be able to put everything on, like, the Ornithopter or something, or... They just eat a bunch of drums. Okay, they just let it happen. I think it's the right play. Okay, I'm playing my Sprite Dragon, which actually gets stuffed by this Ornithopter. And I'm going to eat all of this. I'm just going to eat everything here. I don't really need this right now. This is the battle we have to wage here. Like, this is, I think, where I can push through, which is the flying battle. Okay, I found a Sternus missile. I think it's yeah, I think it's tempo time. Because yeah, this is what I'm doing. I've definitely telegraphed what I want to do here is attack with the Spray Dragon a bunch. I can attack with up to 4 things here. I don't think it. Let's see. I can attack with like all of these things and still have all of these things. Because they can block 4. Do I need to do that? Do I need to just give a bunch of things for no reason? Yeah, let's try it. Not sure if there's a point in doing this, but I have like so many blockers. I think it's okay. I don't think anything can go wrong with all my things. There's the Ornithopter. Okay, there's a Ravager. They found a Ghost Fire Blade. Okay. I'm probably thinking surely they don't have another, like, Stern Dismissal. I actually will bounce. I should bounce again, but I don't have to bounce the Ornithopter now. Because they decided not to equip. So this means now I could just like attack through the Ornithopter. I don't really care. But I mean I do have to be careful because they have a Ravager in play, so maybe I just bounce this anyway. Yeah, I think that's the right line. Because they could just like they can't do any like Ravager shenanigans next turn to me. The battle is in the air, and I'm ready to fight. Okay, I need like a good spell. Okay, that's technically a spell. I have so much mana, I don't think I need to pay life for this. Okay, I found a Burst Lightning, which is pretty good. Let me think. Um, they'd have to. They can only block like 4 things, 5 in the air. Yeah, I think this gets blocked. This gets blocked. Yeah, I think they're just dead. Can I even activate a funeral? No, I cannot. Okay. Yep, let's just do it. Math is for blockers, right? Math is for blockers, is what I've been told. It's like block, block. They actually can't even activate this. Yeah, I have the Burst Lightning in my hand. Okay, cool. Iconoclast, good. Alright, let me bring in all of this. I don't know if Static Hash is good enough for this matchup. There's not like a lot of ones that they have. I'm going to take out all my lapses here. And Founding was not bad. Founding, I think I need to keep Founding in the deck just for like these kinds of games where I just need like, I need to mill cards. So the next worst card is probably like Charm. Terror was pretty good there. It was just a good brick wall. I can kind of cruise and maybe like a Charm. Charm is like decent at killing things. Not really. It was good that one time, and that was it. All right, let's try this. I like founding to rebuy something like a Flame Slash or something. Vandal Blast is gonna come in play here though. I'm pretty sure. Sure, I can keep. I tapped Red Source, but I mean they play tap lands too, so like not super worried. I've got the dynamic duo here. Iconoclast and Spray Dragon. This is probably worth killing, yeah. So I'm just gonna Funeral Flame Slash. I think I've actually could have saved it. No, wait, 2, 3, yeah, it's... Find another one. Let me think. Kind of like Iconoclast and Ponder. Just kind of start putting up some blockers. They don't have removal in their deck, I don't think, so this is, like, pretty neat. This is pretty great to just have a Iconoclast in my deck. Just gonna get going. None of this is really that good, so I'm gonna mulligan this. Or shuffle, rather. It's not bad. It's really not great at killing the Ravager. They have a bunch of things to eat. But, you know, it could kill something else. 3 of Tails. Another Chief. Alright, well, their ground force looks pretty good. Okay, it's pretty good. I'm gonna take this because they would eat a lot of things to like get better. So I think what I'm gonna do is I don't know. Actually, I don't know what to do. This is 2 triggers here because I could just like use the Sternus Missile to bounce to this, and I get 2 more blockers. Next turn I mill, and then maybe the Terror comes online. Or I could just bounce this and say I don't care. This costs the most mana, so I think this is like the most efficient use of my time. Or I can maybe Terror to... I could loot. I think I want to just cast these Terrors eventually. This will cast 2 things. It's totally fine. Okay, hit this. In this moment, I could probably accept Sprite Dragon plus Terror, or then, like, maybe flashback to Flame Slash or something. I think this next turn I'm blocking everything. Maybe I double block this. Okay, I found the drum. Maybe just to force him to eat something. I mean, they have a lot of things to eat. I don't think it really matters. Oh, they're just doing like this? Okay, that's totally fine. They just block. Block. Alright, I will chart myself. See what I got. So I have 6, so these cost 2. I could just play 2 of them. Or I can go Sprite Dragon Terror. I think it's fine. Because next turn, I do want this, because next turn I want a flashback spell. And yeah, I'm coming in. Potentially I can trade, or they can use the rabbit. I guess they could, like, eat the Power Depot, the modular on this. So maybe it's not like a great trade. Or a trade at all, rather. Because the Power Depots are kind of tricky. There are artifact lands that could eat. And when they die, they'll move something. Okay, another chief just, like, messed up the whole plan. Ooh, Gingerbread's good. The Gingerbread's actually unblockable here. They can tap this to make it unblockable. Use the drum mana. It's pretty good. We need a Vandal Blast soon. Clear all this out. Alright, figured it out. I do have haste creatures in my deck. Technically, Sprite Dragon is a haste creature, so it's not completely unblockable. Interesting attack. I don't think I'm dead, but it's gonna hurt. So I will put this in front of this in front of this, and then I can't believe we didn't attack with the chief either. I think the chief attack would be pretty nice. Okay. Whatever, they could have gone for like a suicide block or suicide. This is like 8, 9, 10, 13. They would have actually killed me if they just sack everything to the Gingerbread here, because they didn't block this Mirror Enforcer. But now I get to Flame Slash it. Maybe. Potentially I get to Flame Slash it. I am probably going to attempt to do it. Ooh, I have Shenanigans? Ooh. That changes everything. Alright, here I'm gonna dismissal this. I'm gonna dismissal the Ravager. It's actually the scariest thing in the battlefield right now. And then, depending on like what they do, I will shenanigans anything else. Because basically what I'm gonna do is play shenanigans every turn from this point forward. Because I'll just slowly kill everything. So I want to see if they actually use this on something. Or they just put it back in their hand. They might just like put it on the... Okay, they're gonna sack it to itself. Oh, they sack something else. They sack the drum. They sacked it to itself. They're gonna put it in the ginger brute. Perfect. So I get the shenanigans, the ginger brute here. Which, it was never unblockable either. Anyway, I had the spray dragon, so... I don't know if I can actually attack, though, just yet. But shenanigans is pretty decent here. Okay. I feel stable. Pretty stable, and next turn I just get to keep... Basically, I just keep eating something, growing my spray dragon, and making a creature every turn from here on out. Oh, I could have played a dragon or a terror. 1, 2, well, 1, 3, 4, 5. Okay, actually I had one more. I'm short one. Unless I dredge another thing. Another spell. Alright, they're attacking for a bunch. Actually, I don't hate this attack. I don't know why they didn't do that, but... Okay, cool. Shenanigans does it. Nice, 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 nice. Alright, another match for the Penny Dreadful IZZET Prowess deck. Sounds awkward. So if I draw like a red source node, like this Ponder's going nuts. I'm on the draw. I'm gonna keep though. I believe in Ponder. As always, that's my whole like post 2 cent PD career, just depending on Ponder. Feeded pools, okay. Just depending on Ponder. Okay, this Ponder has to go. Ponder has to deliver. Oh, perfect. Um Ponder absolutely delivered. Let's see what the pools though. Let's see what this deck is. Blue black. So yeah, I have another Sprite Dragon coming, I think, soon, so I can just start throwing these at my opponent, see what happens. Might get countered here. There's a ton of blue-black decks in the format right now, so I don't know, this could be anything. Could be like Thopter Sword, maybe just a control deck. They have Fairy Vandal, that's not good. That just stuffs my thing. Unfortunate. Do the Burst Lighting, though, to clear it out next turn. The next card, I think, is another Sprite Dragon, though, so if they draw a card here, it's going to be kind of not great for me. Okay. They're going to have, like, cards like Tainted Indulgence in their deck, so I can't just, like, have the Burst Lightning to... I can't just, like, proactively use Burst Lightning. I can maybe respond to, like, something. Maybe they're just, like, a flash deck. Okay. I think I'm just gonna pass. And if they try to like cast a spell, maybe I can just burst lighting this. Like a Tainted Indulgence. Okay, they're gonna play Slither Wisp. Okay, that's more worthy of... I think I'm just gonna like lapse this. And then burst lighting this. I don't know if that's right or not, but this is just kind of like a time walky thing. I think my next card is another Sprite Dragon, so I kind of want to get that through, this Fairy Vandal. Yeah, Slitherwitch is really good at just, like, fueling the Vandal. Maybe, but they have to play, like, their turn. Slitherwitch is, like, can get out of hand in a second, but be fine. Okay, maybe I didn't know what I was drawing. What does this cost? 4? It might be worth it just to drop this down. Four mana 5/5 ward 2. basically blue Blastoderm. I don't know, like I'm not sure how I feel about this card yet. It's just like fine, but not great. I don't know if I need four of them. I think that's my big consensus. I don't think I need four. But I was like turbos, other sort of like that would use terror. I think they're thinking about countering this. It is like big and beefy. I'm gonna lose focus. It's fine. Or like a second red source. My mana's been all over the place. Alright, I'm playing with the dragon. Let's see if they have another fairy vandal. If they have another fairy vandal, maybe I deserve it. I don't know. Maybe I just deserve running to another fairy vandal. Not sure. They're gonna counter this one too. Oh, they're gonna play this with Livingston response. Notably does not fly. It just has flash. I always think this thing flies, it doesn't, but it's pretty good. So it's pretty much a blue-black flash deck with some counter spells. Vandal's good. You can so see a Brineborn. I mean, Iconoclast is really good, just like stuffing these kinds of decks, but you have to get out on the battlefield first. Cut down, okay. I think I'm gonna play Iconoclast here and try to ponder. I might just counter this. I mean, the loose focus I could pay for, but then it would tap me out. So, okay. Ponder. And then I can actually cast a cruise here. If I don't really care about anything. Double Terror is kind of crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4. That'd be 5. So Double Terror is not bad, honestly. So these cost 2 each. Okay. No. I kind of want to see what's in their hand. Like I gotta get cute to spite the Sprite Dragon, wait for this, but let's just see what's up. Okay. Their hand is loose because Zephyr Sentinel. Another Flash Flyer. It bounces creatures. Perhaps if it's a soldier. Dirge Bat. Okay, it mutates her. It's a Flash Flyer. Sea Dasher. Classic Sea Dasher. And a Lose Focus. Interestingly, they have not Lose Focus anything here. Dirge Bat. We're at the point of Dirge Batting. Oh, man. Okay, Zephyr Sentinel. I don't think they bounce anything. It's a 2/1 Flash Flyer for the most part. See, this thing looks like it shouldn't fly either, but it is. But I mean, it has like magical powers to fly. This thing looks like it should have wings and it doesn't fly. It's really weird. It's so really, whatever. Our Dirge Pad is online. I will say that this with C-Dash Octopus is pretty good, so I do have to get rid of that somehow. Okay, so I have like a bunch of terrors coming up. They have a single loose focus. What I really want them for is to use a loose focus on one of these terrors. I play the other terror, and then I get the cruise next turn. I'd rather just have a cruise, like now, like soon, so I don't have to like worry about this lose focus. I am gonna get C-Dash, though. Okay, so they're gonna do that. This is perfect. I have another terror in my hand. I could go for the treasure cruise, though, but then the terror gets worse, so I'd rather just, like, do all this now. I'd offer a trade. I don't think I really want to, though. At least, I mean, if they should just mutate now. I mean, I don't know why they wouldn't mutate on the Zephyr Scribe or Sentinel or whatever. 1 mana away from actually Dirge batting. Oh, it's non-human. They have the so they put it. Oh, they have to put it on the Slitherwoods. This is what a non-bow. Okay, so I'm gonna try to just play all my spells here. Okay, I found another Iconoclast. That's actually really good. I don't know if it's better than the Sprite Dragon though. So I am gonna play Dragon, and then I'm gonna try to cruise for a bunch. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, leaving just the spells I kind of want to keep around, just in case I get a Founding in at some point. This might get countered. I really would not want it to be countered. They would have to have drawn a good card here to counter this. They may be able to, maybe they flash in like the Sea Dasher just to try to get a counter spell. They found. Oh my god, the last card was Loose Focus. That's so brutal. If I don't like, I mean, I'm never gonna get through the Loose Focus there, but that's brutal. I guess I could attack with the Tolarian Terror. If they try to double block, I'm totally fine with that. The Sea Dasher doesn't really make the difference here, so it's kind of a free attack. That's so funny. They can't mutate on the Zephyr Sentinel because it's a human. You can only mutate on non-humans, which is like really funny. So the only one eligible is actually like Slitherwisp. Gotta read these types, man. You need flash non-humans. They attack. I actually might take the trade. Oh wow. Maybe not actually, because any other spell just like makes this infinitely better. I am at 9 though, but I'm not worried about like burn spells. Dirge Bat is kind of just a thing. I will. Okay, of course I found a Founding. I guess I just go like Iconoclast, like mill 4 immediately. I get a ton of triggers here. I do have to worry about Dirge Bat. I've never said that in my life. Um, I've never said that ever. But I can set this up. I could use this to set up the cruise here. What did I mill? A bunch of stuff I didn't want. Great. I'm gonna hold this back to block. I could attack with a bunch of like idiots here. Because I am worried about the Dirge Bat flash threat. They might even just flash in a Dirge Bat just to block a 1/1. There's no reason not to. I don't think. And also, if they play the Dirge Bat here, they get the draw card. They lose a life. Oh, I lose a life. Oh, I lose a life? This thing is broken. But then they also get the Sea Dash onto something, so they might be able to just, like, push through this. But not really. It's a trade, no matter what. Okay. But if they... Oh, wait, they get to, like, kill something. Oh, wait. They get a super mutate, because they get the... They get to mutate twice, so they get the... It's kind of gross. So they get to kill the dragon and come in for like a bunch, and then they have a Sea Dasher. I think I'm dead. Actually, I'm close to dead. They didn't mutate. Oh, they are mutating. Okay, just takes a minute. What? How is this the threat? They are really afraid of Solarian Terror. Oh man, I'm blocking. Do you think I'm not trading this? I'm absolutely trading this. Because I'm just gonna cruise next turn. I'm gonna exile this and just cruise, and hopefully it works. I have a lot of nonsense to get rid of too. I can't believe they didn't just like. I guess they're intending on trading. I also could like burst lightning something. Maybe like burst lightning the Slither Wisp. Let's see what I draw first. If I draw like a cruise, I can just totally change my game plan. Okay, drew a funeral. God, I have so many options here. I could just like kill the Slither Wisp. I could try to like treasure cruise. That you can just draw more action. Do I just resist? Like I have the removal spell in my like in my at the ready, so yeah, I think I can kill a Slitherwist. I think it's just like maybe going to kill me eventually. I get a bunch of triggers too, so it's like not the end of the world. Because they could just like kind of like go on and do nothing here. It's a bit risky though. They kind of Fairy Vandal, okay. Just get one more trigger off. Also puts another flyer into play. It's kind of like annoying. It makes my like soldier tokens way worse. But I just don't want to get chipped out by this thing. It just creates too much advantage. I don't know. I might regret not cruising, but we'll see. We'll know in the next like 3 cards if it was bad or not. If this game goes on that long. I do have the biggest flyer on the field. Unless they find another thing to Dirge Bat on. They can just keep mutating on this. That would be really annoying. And it must be only Dirge Bat. If they find another Dirge Bat, it's like double triggers, and then I'm in real trouble. We'll see if I just try to land. I can just slam the funeral into all this stuff, and I don't care. It is pretty nice. Soldier tokens can't block anyway, so I could have like actually attacked. Venser, Shaper, Savant. Okay. They can just bounce the Sprite Dragon and kill me? Okay. Awesome. God, I love Venser. Alright, Zenit Cruise. I don't think it would have been great. Maybe Cruise would hit Founding and maybe I could have just done the same thing. I don't know. I don't know. Okay. This is quite the deck. Blue, black, flash. What do we do? I do like the burst lightnings and the unsummons. I think they are pretty decent. I feel like this is mostly just a creature like matchup. I could definitely play the spell. The spell's pretty nice at like no, they play a bunch of lose focuses. That's the problem with lose focuses. It's hard to counter on its own. So like lapse is like not bad against like fighting the creatures. Fighting the counter spells is not really what I want to be. I think I want to play to the board though. I think Vapor Sag's gonna be a big deal. All other stuff is just creatures. I could play Counterflux as well. I can counter all. I can counter every lose focus. So that's kind of nice. Maybe I don't want lapse. I don't know. Huh. Maybe I don't want Vapor Sag. Maybe I just don't want that. Dirge Bat's really annoying. The game just kind of went really long. I kind of like the lapses. Maybe I don't like IZZET Charm as much. Maybe I'll just cut that for Counterflux and see what happens. I can keep this. Iconoclast into Probe. It's kind of where I'm going. Again, the tension of Cruise Terrors is like kind of nuts. I think it made me want Thought Scour as well. Maybe like Probe is just, I know Probe is too good with all like the 2 mana prowess thingies. Okay. I have an answer to the first threat. Gonna shape my game plan here. Okay. Their hand is not great. They have a Cutthroat here, but Cutthroat's not really that awesome in the face of my Burst Lightning. The soldier tokens just kind of get in. I'm thinking of just like actually not even worrying about Brineborn. I mean, I could just memory lapse something if they try to flash in the Brineborn to block this. Okay. I think I'm just lapsing no matter what happens. I think I'm just lapsing anything. It just makes another thing too. Next turn I have Counterflux or another random spell I could play. So I'm gonna have to draw the Brineborn, play this island. Gotta pass. Sulfur Falls is nice. Yeah, let's attack. I do have the Counterflux, so they can't lose focus me. They try to flash in something, I mean, I get the kill anyway. So I think they're flashing against a little bit. It's just the most, like, mana efficient. Okay. Burst lighting this. It's kind of the whole point of their deck, just to have this thing and get it going, so... I like where I'm at right now. This is kind of the plan. I thought this would be cool, too. It's like, you just... The very young Pyromancer sort of feel... Reminds me back of the old days. Okay, Spray Dragon's a nice one. It doesn't really jive that well with the Counterflux in my hand. Okay. I think actually it's honestly okay, though. I don't really care. I only care about protecting the Iconoclast at this point, so... I can just, like, attack with a bunch of soldier tokens. They can't really attack. They're at 8. They're already at 8. It's not great for them. Right, cut down. I think I'm just gonna counterflux this. Oh wait, I did that wrong. I didn't even tap the funeral. Counterflux. Welcome to Return to Ravnica. Land would be nice. I can cast the crew. Okay, awesome. How much does this cost right now? It's like 3. I'm not gonna attack though. They could have like any sort of 2/1 flyer here. Yeah, but I'm gonna get in with all this. Or 1/2. It's only like Fairy Vandal, but Fairy Vandal's pretty good at right at this point. Next turn I think I'm just gonna tap out for Cruise or just play the Terror. They're really scared about Terror, so maybe just putting that in the field is really nice. I have some like good all-out attacks next turn. Even like if I do nothing with and I just play the Funeral, I can just pressure with Funeral. They have Omen. The great card to have. The flash thing that also like draws cards. We're scrying here. Big thoughts. One top, one bottom. So they found one card they liked. No fourth land yet for the Dirge Bat. So, okay, never mind. Dirge Bat is on. It's not bad, honestly, in this spot. I mean, it gets to stuff the dragon. Found out never lapse. It's a nice one. It's a great one. I think that's great right now. Because if they try to Dirge Bat me, they just did the lapse it. Like, I know you have Dredge bad. I did probe you, so. This is a show of strength. Okay, they have Sudden Edict. Okay. It's not the worst. I am a third path Iconoclast deck. Fairy Vandal. Okay, that could slaps for sure. So now their hand is like not great. Actively not great now. They take 3, they go to 3, and they can really only play one spell next turn. And I have more creatures than that. Nice. I'm gonna go to game 3 here. They could have scryed maybe, but like what 1 mana spell could they use here that would help them? Nice. Alright, game 3. It was a pretty classic sort of just like counter draw sort of game. Do we need anything else? Maybe Vapor Sack is good enough. It's like they're just playing like one thread at a time. Vapor Sack just be really good. I don't know what I would cut though. I'm not really sure. Labs actually seem really strong there. Founding might be a bit much, but it does kind of help the terrors and the cruises out. Actually, he was a big fan of this, so maybe I just felt like found the right line. Maybe I just found like the right sort of like. I'm gonna try to fit these in. I think I can cut like 1 founding and maybe like 1 terror. They're a bit expensive, but they are really hard to deal with. So I'm gonna try this. I was really like I think Iconoclast really won that game. Just like continually making threats. I countered some spells, just like grew exponentially. I'm gonna not exponent, just like slowly gain value. It's mulligan here. Oh, all mana. Let's go to 5. Sure. It's kind of rough. I'm just gonna bin both terrors. If I find a red source here, the burst lightnings will go far away. They'll play a tap lane or something. Okay. The ponder will save us. Well, founding's pretty nice too. Founding actually helps cast some things. These spells are not castable. Okay. It's kind of rough because they're not gonna they're gonna just play a card, so they're a flash deck. They're not gonna play on my turn. So this is why it makes Founding a little awkward. All right, I found the Fumarole. I think I can just like play this pass and then dismissal something. I mean, if they have a 1 drop or 2 drop, if it's depending if it's like Brindboard or not. I mean, I think having dismissal is fine here. Maybe I could just like upkeep dismissal this. Try to bait a counterspell. Doesn't make any sense though. They would never do that. I'll do end of turn. I'll just do an end of turn sort of move. Like they get attack and then they could just try to unsummon it. They might not care, honestly, because it has flash. It like actually doesn't matter, so I guess I just go for the mill plan, I guess, and then I get the worst case I cast the ponder. Now I have burst lightning up, I can just kill the thing. Wow. So many dismissals. I guess I'm casting ponder. Okay, Primeborn's gonna get blown up here. I think I almost like I thought I almost like pressed okay through that. Maybe she would just like lag slightly. Because this is a tough game. This is game 3 for a 4-1. would be nice. Okay, so this turn I am flashing back this Ponder. That's not bad. My hand is like really bad. My hand is like actively bad. It's just like okay. None of this is really good. Uh, I just need a threat. Okay, whatever. This give me like a dirge bat. That obviously would set me back so hard. Omen, sure, you got it. Both on the bottom. We found a Zephyr Sentinel. Um, I think I actually do have to kill this. I don't really want to take a lot of damage, so I think what I need here is like a Cruise or a Terror. Either way would be pretty good. Terror would cost 3, I think. They're so patient. I found a Sprite Dragon. I am just gonna jam. They get a loose focus here. It's okay. Okay. God, if they have Fairy Vandal again, that's kind of rough, but we'll try. No, they do have it. Oh, Dirge Bat? This is the Dirge Bat? Okay. Don't mind lapsing a Dirge Bat here. They can have a Spell Piercer to spell, though. It's not looking good, though. I mean, Dirge Bat still kind of chumps this, which is like the best use of Dirge Bat. No cards to mutate on yet, but Dirge Bat could get mutated on. They could go Dirge Bat, Sea Dasher, and it's just like, now then I'm just like super out of this game. They cycled Feeded Pools on their turn. It's kind of aggressive. Oh, okay. So I mean, I know the Dirge Bat just lapsed it, so I can't really attack. I could have attacked with the Fumarole. I wouldn't have minded trading the Fumarole for the Dirge Bat. But now they just get to like, they get to mutate on this even once. It's too good. Well, it'd be terrible if it was a Sea Dasher. Do you have another Dirge Bat? Oh my god. Um, so terrible. I'm gonna come in. They have 2 cards left. Who knows? If I go to like a land, so it's gonna be good cards. They have good cards in their deck. Okay, they didn't flash in mutate, so I'm not gonna get totally destroyed here. Wow, what's in their hand? They can just have just counter spells and nothing else. All right, they're gonna scry. Oh my god! What if they just only had reactive spells that didn't affect the board? I'm surprised they just didn't scry and then try to do something with this. Because they find a Dirge Bat. I mean, they can't draw a card, but scrying here is pretty nice. They must only have like loose focuses in their hand, if I had to guess. One top, one bottom, so they're gonna draw a card they like. I guess like yeah, sometimes they're not very good. They're not attack. Wow. Gosh. So this is scary. If I activate the Sumerol and they have another Dirge Bat to flash on, they get two mutate triggers, I believe. Because I think it triggers both of them. So I don't know if I actually even want to attack. Oh, offer a trade. Because even if they do that, they can just kill it if they have the fumeral. Let's just pass. I mean, there's no point. Oh, I mean, offering a trade's pretty cool, but I could get super blown out. Alright, they've been a Brineborn. I didn't even play a land. I don't think I need to, I don't know, I'm just kind of... Maybe I get to get to play a little slower here. Okay, that's not really great. I mean, it puts a counter on my Sprite Dragon. That's not bad, but I don't want to. I don't want to kill this. I don't want to bounce this because then they can Dirge Bat it. They can mutate onto the Brine board now, and they can kill my thing. Slither Wisp. That's so good right now. Okay, the only one card left. I can't really attack into my funeral. Their hand is just as bad as mine, which is amazing to think about. All right, I'm gonna ponder here. I think if they're gonna try to counter this ponder, it's a great ponder in this spot. Okay, that's all pretty decent. Okay, we play this land. They've been holding this entire time. Ponder again. Now I'm bigger than the Dirge Bat and everything else. Oh my god, I need the first lighting, I think, but everything else is just so bad afterwards. I'm gonna shuffle. I think I can get a better sort of look. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. But they're refusing to attack, so I don't think it's too bad. They didn't like lose focus any of this. Okay, they don't have like good attacks. Unless they have like another thing to mutate on the Dirge Bat or something. Oh my god. Another funeral is actually not that bad. I have so many lands, I can start just throwing them at them. I'm gonna wait till it untaps and maybe attack with a 4-1. The main thing is I want to kill this in some capacity. Okay. I'm coming in. If you can mutate Dirge Bat on a Dirge Bat, that's really good. We've been waiting for this whole moment to do this. That's crazy. They could have like set an edict, but they would have fired off a long time ago. I really don't know what's in their hand that they've been waiting on. It could be just counter spells. Which in that case, the creature lands are very good against counter spells. Okay. I'm gonna trade. This could be like a Zephyr Sentinel. They save. Okay, they did it. Wow. Okay, have a land. Go. And I'm gonna keep doing the same thing. I'm gonna keep just like putting things in here. They have a Night Bonder. Okay. That draws a card. They must have just drawn this. It's kind of scary to like unsummon things in the face of Slither Wisp now, because that just like gives them a little bit of value. Or a lot of value, honestly. So maybe the unsummons were not a good idea. Maybe I want to just Flame Slash. Because it's just a cheap interactive threat. Or what? A cheap interaction spell. This really can't still attack into my Fumeral, but I can attack into them. Silly to think about. Yeah, bringing the Vapor Sack is not a good idea. But I mean, at least Vapor Sack like pings for one. It does trigger the Sprite Dragon. Okay, this is tough. I think I'm just paying a mana for this. I have so much mana. It will unlock some mysteries. Like, I have no idea what's in their hand. If I had to guess, for at least 2 counter spells. The way they've been playing. Okay. Mizia Meddler Venser. Oh my goodness. So I guess they're trying to make them react to this. I mean, they could Venser this. Oh, Venser is so good. They've waited so long for this. Mizia Meddler. So they could change the target of a removal spell. Maybe I was glad I didn't take that Burst Lightning now. Okay, let's just get in here. If they want to venture this, so be it. So that's their hand. I don't need to see my graveyard right now. They could venture bounce this. And maybe they don't know that I have a counterspell, but they have counterspell backups. Like, crazy now. I feel like I could just chump with the Nightbonder. This costs 3. This costs 2. So it's like, they have like uncounterable spells here. Okay. Can't remember if I played a land or not. They also just like bounce the Sprite Dragon. Okay. I mean, they just chump with the Venser. Okay, they got a Meddler. I think I'm just like putting it all in the field here. They still have a lose focus, which is pretty good. I could just like replay Sprite Dragon. Maybe they lose focus it. Okay, I guess all that pumps the Brineborn. So yeah, I mean, that's fair. I am at the risk of getting like tempoed out now. Because I can't just like slam the terror. Let's just... I think this gets countered. I think they just countered this. Okay, and that's so disciplined. Maybe they're just worried about like my 1-mana counterspell. Or my 1-mana like unsummon or whatever. This is such a telegraph. I don't think I can like unsummon this. But I mean, they just have to lose focus. Let's see what they do. It's their turn. Like them having lose focus is like just really good for them. I could just chump this and they take this much. But it's so bad. It's so bad to unsummon this. I'm gonna try this first. And I know they'll counter it. I don't think they should. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't even matter the counter, but they are just gonna fire it off. They have another meddler. Oh my god. Okay, you got it, man. Or person. You got a friend. Okay, cool. Good match. Crazy match. All right, back with the final thoughts of the blue-red prowess list. 3 and 2, not too bad. Not too great either. I thought this deck was pretty decent. Well, I like some of the spells. I don't know if I like all the spells, but like these were great. Third class especially, I think third path was especially like really good. It really did right playing young Pyromancer, so I wish I could like lean in on that. It sucks to have it blue and red. I mean, blue is a really good color to have with this. Red doesn't really offer. I mean, I don't think it offers like a ton. Like blue is just like I don't know. Maybe I'm just wrong. Maybe I could maybe I could like splash blue for certain cards. Maybe I don't even need blue. If I could just play all like removal or tempo spells. But this card was actually pretty sweet. I really did like it. Terror and Cruise. I think they're like similar cards. Um, I don't know. I don't know, I'm like really sold on this card. Maybe I do want just like one drops, like Swift Spear or even like Blister Coil Weird would have been okay, but Swift Spear is not that bad in this list. It's hard to cast. I think it would like make the mana base like way worse, but I don't know. I guess it demanded a lot of like answers. People just like, kind of thought they needed to answer it, but all the time I just wanted Cruise most of the time, and then like Cruise just messes this up. So I'm not really sure like where I should be on the threat package of this sort of deck. Ponder Probe were great. Founding was like okay. It could get a little awkward at times. I don't think I had enough like one mana spells to really like make this great, but I think three was like the right number for something like this. You can think of like Opt or Thought Scours, other cards you can kind of consider to pair along with this. I don't really like all the lapses. I don't know. Maybe it's lapses were like fine, but I don't know if I needed like a bunch of them. Izzet Charm was like okay. And this could be any other like one mana spell. The sideboard was just kind of like thrown together. I don't really think I had a lot here. My losses were to that blue black flash deck, which I think I boarded wrong. I think should have had just like more like red removal, flame slash would have been great, or some other like red spell that would have been fine. Like I would have taken a shock all day long. But actually I like counterflux. Counterflux was kind of sweet. Um, I don't know. I don't know what else I have here. I think if I were to play this again, more cruises and maybe like founding or thought scour to kind of fuel that. I did like founding cruise. I thought that was very cool. Just like mill four immediately and then just like either flash something back or just cast a cruise. I think that's like really where you want to be. I did like the founding iconoclast Sprite Dragon sort of synergy where you just basically cast like three spells in one spell. So that's not bad, but I don't know. I think that I felt like there was like something missing. Like I needed one of these things to really get going, and this is supposed to be like the backup plan, and didn't really feel great. I felt like I won a lot of games just by going super wide with Iconoclast. So if I could either have more of these or like some other like big threat, it's hard to like. And that's a problem with like some of those like that's the problem I have with Swift Spear is that Swift Spear and Sprite Dragon are basically very similar cards where they need a lot of help to get the ball rolling. But so like that's why you have Terror, because Terror is just like supposedly a one mana 5/5, so it doesn't like it does need help, but in different ways. So maybe it just had like an individually great threat or something. I don't know, but I don't know. I don't know what that is. So who knows? Maybe I'm just trying to play different decks. I'm not really sure either. But yeah, but yeah, kind of class, ponder, probe, great. Everything else, maybe I don't know. All right, but thanks everyone for watching. Appreciate the support, and I will see you next video.